What is going on, everybody? I'm your host, St. James. You're here at the St. James Show. And voila, who else is with me? If he unmute
Hello,
himself.
I'm here. How you
What's
doing,
up,
St.
man?
James?
I'm
I'm
not getting feedback. Let's see
man. I'm
here.
happy to be here. How was your week?
Okay. Are you still hearing mute? Your host, St. James.
I live
Wait a
I live in
minute.
Phoenix.
Is that me or what? Who else is with me? Do you hear feedback?
I do. I don't
Oh
think
yeah,
it's
I
me.
get it. It's me. I had it playing in the background like a nerd. What's up, Eric?
Oh,
Maurice
what's up?
Clark.
Is that Grace Jones in the background?
That is Grace Jones in the back. She watches over my house when I'm gone. Yes, it
Okay.
is. Um, uh,
Okay.
a, a artist friend in Los Angeles, Devin Wesley. He painted it for me. It's an original.
Wow.
It's an original. Yes, yeah. I know. I was tripping out, Pam. What's up, Pam? Thanks for joining. It was playing on my in the background. Yeah, on another thing. I'm a nerd. That's okay. We're getting through it. All right. Yes, sir. We always will. All right. So what you do today, Eric?
Man, I just pretty much just cruised through the day.
Yeah.
Don't get on me. I didn't go to church, but it was
Oh,
in
I
my heart.
didn't either.
So a bunch of
I did
nothing,
watch
you know.
church. I watched it. I watched the convocation official there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you see all those people? There's a lot of people
It was a lot of
congregated
people.
out
I
there.
posted that on my community wall. I'm like, all these people talking about ain't nobody there. What didn't nobody go? Not from what I saw,
Hmm.
and
Which I think
especially
is, which is, I think it ties in well with our subject tonight, coaching, because
yes,
uh, there have been something out there in the Bay Area, and there's a lot of gospel artists that have shared their story of church hurt
right,
from the Kojic organization. But yeah,
exactly. So before we get too deep into it, we want to remind everybody to make sure that as you come in that you like and feel free to comment respectfully in the chat. Subscribe to my channel and Eric's channel, Gospel Diaries. Share, and you can also join the St. James Show here. Never forget to donate to the St. James Show, also Gospel Diaries. And we do have the link for Gospel Diaries in the chat. I see Inspire is on the job. Thank you for showing up and showing out as usual, Inspire. We appreciate you. Thank you for coming through, Rita Harden. Um, man, so, I don't know. It's so weird to me, but it's kind of disrespectful. I know we say a lot of things about the Church of God in Christ, but I think we have to really kind of wheel that in because they have been so instrumental in gospel music and putting gospel music people on the map. Can you hear me?
yeah, I agree. I agree, but you got to look at. I don't want to name any names, but you just know that there are politics in any
Oh, definitely.
organization,
Definitely.
and
Yeah.
those politics have been in favor for not the majority for a long run in the Kojic organization. Pretty much, it's just honestly, I believe that this is stemmed from post Civil War. It's just this Christianity that America has culturated or indoctrinated in the African American communities,
So what
but
I
we don't
what,
look
what
at it from.
so what I'm hearing you say is if you're good friends with the minister of music at the time and you're an artist, then you probably will be on the stage and get a little bit more playtime. Is that what you're saying?
Chances are, chances.
So y'all out there, y'all better start kissing Myron Williams behind if you want to show up at the Church of God in Christ convention. He had Ricky this year, and Hezekiah, John P. Key, Donald. They did the concert the other night. I seen a few clips. It looks like it was great. You know.
Oh yeah, I was so happy to see Ricky Diller at the Kojic convention because could you, if you think about it, like when in the 40s or the 50s, you probably would have never seen someone of Ricky's background, in that format, So I think the Kojic denomination
When
is
you
a
say
big
Ricky's background, expound on that.
well, Kojic denomination is very territorial. A lot of the
True.
denominations were territorial.
Mm-hmm.
So, like since me, I was so unorthodox, I was always snooping around. But there was a lot of music and artists that we were forbidden to listen to growing up in the Holiness Church.
Right. Yeah. Me too. And we snuck in. I used to sneak away to Love Center.
Really?
Oh, I was a kid. And I befriended this one group of people in the church that were rebels. We grew up PAW apostolic, so we couldn't even pretty much go to other apostolic churches long enough,
Absolutely.
a Love Center or a Baptist church.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. So you grew up
so I
PAW?
definitely understand that. I did. I did. Hmm. The California,
Yeah,
Nevada,
I'm
Hawaii District
PCAF.
Council. Oh, PCFF. Okay. Okay. I hate that we have like a delay. It seems like we have a delay. Maybe you
There
need to,
is a delay,
if you
but I
go
guess
out,
we could try to work through it.
can
You
you
want me
go
to
out and
go
come
out?
back in and maybe that'll fix it?
Sure. Yeah, I can try.
Do that. Okay, let's try to do that. Sean says there used to be the hottest choirs. Yeah, definitely. And we'd be up all night long and just doing that. Did you click out? Oh yeah, there you go. You be half asleep, just nodding off over at the musicals, but at the GMWA, but we'll still stay up and listen to it. All right. So while he's getting his stuff together, we want to make sure that you guys are liking the video so we can get deep into. We got some special surprises tonight, so you do not want to log off. Trust me, you don't want to log off. We're going to talk about a number of these artists, the Bay Area artists, what influence that they have on gospel music, who are some of the iconic contributors, and also in the Southern California as well. Let's see if we can get Eric back on here.
Hello.
All right. Can you hear me now?
That's better.
Okay, great. Perfect. I'm like, oh God, we can't go through all night like this. Okay, cool. You know what? I want to dive into it. And you mentioned something to me. You were talking about the Bay Area and the unique way gospel got to the Bay Area. Mm-hmm. Expand a little bit on that.
Absolutely. So the Bay Area story is very similar to many of the urban centers in this country. But for the sake of time, I think it's imperative that we just focus really on the advent of World War II, because a lot of the defense jobs were prevalent there in the Bay Area, and blacks began to migrate there. And pretty much at that particular time, you had 7th Street, which was, you're from Oakland, right?
I'm from Central California. Well, I grew up in San Jose.
Okay, so you're familiar with 7th Street, West Oakland?
In West Oakland, yes, I am.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was a lot of music that really, all of the African Americans that migrated there, they brought this jazz music. They brought a lot of the music that they heard was really jazz. So all of these polyrhythms. Could you imagine how exciting this was for the children in that particular era, because they were so used to hearing that piano, being played as a piano and as a drum, because of its percussiveness, with the, So it's interesting, but prior to the 40s, a lot of blacks migrated to Oakland or California through Christian work. Bishop Mason sent field workers out to California. I think the first Church of God in Christ in California is Saints Home, if I'm not mistaken.
And where's that at? Where's Saints Home?
That's in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, okay.
But the same year, which is 1916, Ephesians. You know, they were
In
formed.
Oakland. Yeah.
Yeah, 1916.
And that's where the
Oh my
Hawkins
God,
were
the
birthed.
Hawkins, the Heavenly Tones. I mean, you
Mm.
name it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. Ephesians was birthed. Edwin Hawkins was birthed. Walter, but Edwin was the oldest,
Yeah.
so he came out first with
Yes.
his gospel. What cool facts do you have about Edwin?
Oh, there's so many cool facts about Edward. Edward reminds me of
When
W. Handy as well
say
because
Edwin, I think you said Edward.
Edward, yeah,
Okay,
Edward,
all right.
yeah.
This is the Hawkins channel here. I get offended.
I'm sorry, I know,
Go
but
ahead.
yeah, Edwin Hawkins. He heard a lot of music in his home as a
Right.
child. And he was very vocal about that. And W. Handy, he heard a lot of music, and that's what helped to cultivate his compositions when early teens when he were doing the blues. But Edwin Hawkins is very interesting. He started playing the organ for Ephesians at an early age. His mom was a Christian. His dad really didn't go to church.
Right.
We should all know the story by now. And because now Hawkins
Okay.
Stevens.
You can tell the exhilarated version. You're good.
Yeah. So Edwin Hawkins, he grew up around all of this music, and there at Ephesians, you had like Tremaine Hawkins, and she had a group, the Heavenly Tones. But Edwin Hawkins, he wanted to share the message of love,
Right.
from a very young age, and he wanted the children to be active in in the church. So I think it's cool that in 1967, him and Betty Watson, she comes from her father was a pastor, Pastor Watson, and they recorded in 1963 the Watkins Sisters.
Yeah.
And there's so much history with the Watkins Sisters. I know because we're probably going to be talking about Isola and Martha and all of them.
Well, probably not all of them, but they can go to Gospel Diaries.
Yeah.
History on everything that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Do you have videos on the Bay Area? I know you have videos Bay Area because I've seen you have videos with Lynette Hawkins Stevens.
Yes.
I even like your video with Charlene Moore. Charlene Moore, yeah. And she's a pioneer. She was Sylvester's musician,
absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Man, it's that Bay Area is just so freaking rich. You had Edwin, then he comes out with this "Oh Happy Day" that just slams the world and upsets everybody in Christendom, right?
Oh, absolutely. And what's amazing about his story is that he had to go outside of the church for the church to appreciate him.
Right.
Because in 68, when they first released that particular project, he was basically selling that just to fund the choir in that community, which were attached to the Kojic organization, but in 69, it's amazing how that year encompassed a lot. I mean, because when he signed with Kama Sutra, with Buddha Records, oh my Lord, I mean, they had his albums in every country you can imagine. You know what I mean? And everyone, basically his music, it gave us a repertoire that we can go over there and sing gospel music and never have to write another song.
Never have to. When I got connected with Edwin with the seminar, I just started to really go into like the seminar would sing some old Edwin Hawkins. I'm like, I freaking never heard that song before in my life. And then I just started going into the archives and all these songs that I just had never heard. And it's so crazy to me the impact that Edwin really had on gospel music.
Yeah, I mean, to me, there is no other way to put it. Edwin, Andre Crouch, they are the fathers, they are the pioneers of contemporary gospel music. because prior to them, you still had the golden age portion of gospel music, and then right after golden age of gospel music, you had people like James Cleveland that was popularizing the choir sound.
Right.
So
So
it
you
was
had
just,
Edwin. Edwin kind of did like the group. He traveled with a group. He liked that group kind of sound. Walter did the choir sound, but before Walter did that choir sound, it was James Cleveland doing that choir sound.
Because back in the early '60s, that's when that really catapulted James Cleveland's career, when he did the series with the angelic voice, the angelic choir, with Billy Preston on the organ. I mean, you got hit after hit.
Billy Preston, man, and who's was the brother of who? Rodina Preston, who's connected with James Cleveland, Southern California, GMWA, and all that. So, I mean, those legs and then he did a lot of things with Andre Crouch, didn't he? Or
he did, and I think an interesting fact about Billy Preston is that his mother, his mother's name escapes me right now, but she actually played the leading role on Amos and Andy. Amos and Andy is one of the first, if not the first, African American sitcom that started, in 1950. But his mom actually played that role on the I think they acted out as a variety show.
And this is Billy Preston's mother.
Billy Preston's mother.
Wow. Gamage, we just mentioned Charlene Moore. So you can't bring one up on us. This is the historian here. We'll get there.
Oh yeah, we definitely got to go there.
Helen Stevens, Voices of Christ. Yes, we love her. She was definitely connected with James Cleveland and the GMWA, along with Stephen Roberts. We love Stephen Roberts. Yeah. So it's really, and I think James played a good part with kind of blending the North and the South kind of together, huh? You would say, or you would think you would go to somebody else?
Well, he did, but at that time, you got to remember that by the time that James came to California, gospel music had already surfaced. The former years, even
he was in Chicago doing his thing.
Huh? Say that one more time.
Because he was in Chicago doing his thing, right?
Yes, but he catapulted in Detroit.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Detroit. I keep saying that. Just like I keep throwing Aretha and her daddy in Chicago, and I put them in Chicago in our last video, and I know good and well they from Detroit. I'm sorry, y'all. I knew they were from
not
Detroit.
Actually from Detroit.
Oh,
not from Detroit.
Well, not from Detroit, because I remember they kicked him out of that other city because he supposedly got that girl pregnant. But but his main deal was in Detroit. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
What you over there sipping?
Water.
Is it okay if I have a drink of water?
You sure can.
This is Walmart.
Okay, you sure can.
We can't advertise Walmart, but this is Walmart.
Oh, okay. Yeah. My water has a little bit of color in it, but I'll get over it.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with color. Actually, color is beauty.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, man, I wanted to mention one thing, the Bay Area, and even like now, I mean, one person I forgot I should have put on the thumbnail was that doggone Lena Bird Miles, who Edwin put on the map. Edwin put her in the new Edwin Hawkins singers, and from there, poof.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she's such a rare gift to the industry. You have some singers, that actually they sound alike, but Lena. Yeah. She's in a field all by herself. And that's one thing that I think that the Bay Area really produced. They produced a peculiar sound, a signature sound. So, I mean, like, it even, it was funny. I was thinking about, you remember that Hold On No Soldier?
Mm-hmm,
Don't Get
mm-hmm.
Me Crying. 'Cause
Mississippi Mass and Walter, yeah.
you was when you think about those lyrics, I mean, he was a lyricist. But
Yeah,
you
because
know, you
nobody
can,
can write like that
yeah.
doggone Walter. That's crazy.
And then like too, like God gifted him with the ability of clarity. Like when he's saying his delivery, like we understand his message.
Right.
I was watching an interview, I think it was Andre Crouch, and he pinpointed this thought. As a child, when I would hear community choirs, a lot of times it sounded like you'll catch bits and pieces of the words or the lyrics. It'd be like,
Right.
da, 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 you know.
Right. Because they're not really seasoned or professional singers. They're just bringing what they do from church into your community choir.
Right, but that's cool though,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
gospel music is an art form. Let's not
Mm-hmm.
forget about that. But a lot of people that's not in the communities where gospel music is produced, a lot of times they have a hard time of uh, making understanding of what they're
Right.
saying. So Andre Krauss said, you know, to eliminate that, he said what he did, like that song "Through It All." He said,
Uh-huh.
so the chorus to say "Through It All," he'll go back and say "Through It All," so there ain't no shadow of a doubt that
So
you're
in other words,
missing.
he gonna lead you into it all the way through. Yeah.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
Walter and Edwin, they, you know, their music, there's clarity in their music. I think that's one thing that's really kept them, and that's one thing I think that's really that Donald Lawrence really embraced too, because he's a lyricist
He
too.
really is.
Yeah.
And birds of a feather, I'm telling you,
All
before we get too deep in there, y'all gotta keep liking and sharing, all right? Oh, that is the wrong one, but we're gonna play the one.
Not much longer now. Bills are about to be paid off. 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 Paid off. Paid off. Finances will get better.
And y'all give donations to all these, you know, crazy YouTube channels. Long enough they fighting and carrying on, y'all will give $1 million to them. This is great information you're getting tonight. So you want to make sure that you're supporting the channel. And here is Gospel Diaries, Eric Maurice Clark's Cash App. Maurice is alive. So I want you guys to not only bless him, but also click on his channel, which is in the chat, pinned to the top of the chat, Gospel Diaries, and make sure that you subscribe. All right.
So
Interesting.
James,
Huh?
can I say something really fast?
Sure can.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's
Just thank
what
you.
you wanted to say.
Yes. No, seriously, like I don't take it lightly. Like when people are nice, they don't, you know, they don't have to be nice to you. And like I think that's one thing that's missing. You know, we got to be appreciative when people support you. You know, I just want to tell you thank you.
Child, please just got me in my place. He said, took care of me the other night. He taking care of you tonight.
Oh, wow.
I ain't got no problem with that. Long enough you taking care of one of us tonight. All right. That's all that matters.
And
you know,
thank you, Thais, too.
Huh?
Thanks to Thais.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. Getting back to the Bay, and it's the style that you were there. One thing I notice about the Bay that I don't think any other sector has is the classiness and the certain way that they carried themselves and sung songs, and it came out in the way they sung the songs, how classy the Hawkins and the entire Bay Area is. I've gone to Chicago, you know, Detroit, even back east, Atlanta, you know. It's just the Bay Area has a certain class to gospel that I don't think any other area has. That's just my opinion.
The only other city that I think that would be with the Bay would be New York. But
okay.
But I think that the Bay Area, their identity is because the Bay Area they promote education, you know,
right?
And in the in the black church, unfortunately, you know, a lot of the black Protestant churches, the Baptist churches, they promoted education, but a lot of the holiness churches, it was just like, you know, put
If
your
you got
faith
the
in
Holy
God.
Ghost, you should be able to. You'll be singing good and playing good. Just get the Holy Ghost. That's all
You
you
know,
need.
and that's unfortunately that's not the way of life. You know?
No,
So,
no.
you know, you have to nurture your future. You know,
You do because
and,
I mean seasons change.
yeah,
So if you're a one-trick pony, that's what I'm so glad that I've been able to go. And I've had people talk about me. Oh, he's been to all these churches. Yeah, but you know, God has afforded me to be at different churches with different denominations where I can be a chameleon. I can go into the different Methodist church, Baptist church, non-denominational, Church of God in Christ, Starch Apostolic, and be able to render a very effective ministry
yeah,
through song and through music. So I think it's important to be a chameleon in this thing. You have to like all types of music. And that's what I like California. It seems like California has just that black gospel in California is still a little different to me. You know, you had Edwin who was, you know, ostracized because of Oh Happy Day. Walter didn't feel like the church was treating you know, artistic people and people with special gifts. He didn't feel like they were being treated correctly. So he started Love Center.
mm-hmm.
You know, so and of course, Love Center, you have Love Alive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if Jamie get off that doggone writings, we can have a 6. Jamie Hawkins.
Mm-hmm. But that's an interesting thing because a lot of people don't know, but in 1964, if my memory serves me correct, Reverend Cecil Williams,
Cecil, okay.
he organized the first gay rights organization in this country.
Oh, okay.
It's amazing that would catapult into, you know, the 70s and the elude into the disco era, which they needed that right there.
Was that Glide Memorial?
Huh?
Was it Glide Memorial?
Glide Memorial, yes.
Okay.
It was a AME church.
AME, right. San Francisco, right?
San Francisco, yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
And they also he recorded a few albums too. And one of no, that wasn't with him. My mind be all over the place. But yeah, so that's one interesting thing because you know, in all of the contemporary music that we know of, like from that 60 area, they really preached love.
It did. And it was like it was preluding into this whole what was that movement?
The Jesus People movement?
That other one. Woodstock.
Yeah.
Oh, Woodstock was, I think, in the 70s, right?
69.
69. Yeah.
It was the same year that Oh Happy Day went wild because the Harlem Cultural Fest, the Edwin Hawkins actually sang that festival in 1969.
I seen that. It was a special that they had on Hulu.
Yeah, Mahalia was there. So many people was there.
Rance Allen, he looked.
Wait, Rance wasn't there.
Not at that one. Okay, maybe they put them together. I know I seen Rance singing at something in the 60s. Yeah. Don't give me the line. You know, you the one that know it. I'm just
no.
So the funny part about it is like all these people who were so effective. I think the major thing that they really promoted was love.
Yeah.
Even Andre Crouch.
Yeah.
You know, it's just wild to me that the artists that were so heavy with spreading the love of Christ were so ostracized in the church and told them that they were not because of maybe how they chose to love, how they chose to love.
And it's all out of tradition, really,
Yeah.
because behavior is learned. You know what I mean? You don't just wake up the next day and say you hate a certain thing. It's a behavior.
Right.
And we're taught to, frown upon certain things. As a child. That's why I'm so. My heart goes out to the formative years of children.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you're actually shaping you're not only shaping their lives, but you're shaping our world, our future.
And the thing about it, I was so sad for me to hear, Bishop Lambert Gates preached the other night at the Church of God in Christ convention, and still on that, we hate the sin but love the sinner. Homosexuals are welcome in the church. All that pseudo type love that they think they're doing the right thing, or in their mind they think they're doing the right thing, but you are really damaging and hurting the majority of those people who are at that doggone convocation in Memphis. That is not love, Lambert Gates. It's not love.
Yeah.
And I wish that we can go back, and it's sad that we're still experiencing what Edwin and Walter and all them, they had to get away from the regular church just to embrace, try to convince people that they were loved by Christ, and just to embrace everyone. And it's just still going on today. When I heard that the other night, I said, oh my God, this is wild to me.
That's because, I think that's why history is so to my heart. That's why I embrace history so much, because how can you know where you're going if you don't know where you come from?
Right. Right.
And there's so many things that have happened in the past that, we can use as a light, to guide our pathways.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you think about, we have Los Angeles, who had Andre Crouch. Who else was around there? So James was down there. He had migrated into LA.
Are you talking about LA so you want to talk about LA now?
Or Southern California?
Okay. I mean, we can't leave out DJ Rogers.
DJ Rogers? Was he from Los Angeles though?
DJ,
I thought he was from New York.
Mistaken, he was from Los Angeles. Because his father was a pastor.
Okay. DJ Rogers, he used to come up to my church in San Jose. Now I think he ripped the church off, but that's another story.
Dwayne Julius Rogers.
And he's the one. So he actually wrote "All Right Now, Think I'll Make It."
Absolutely.
Hezekiah's, yeah. DJ Rogers.
He started in the church, and I don't know if you're familiar with the Los Angeles Community Choir.
Yes, yeah.
So he started, he was singing with the Los Angeles Community Choir. The same choir that brought to us, I decided to make Jesus my choice.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, who was head of that?
Huh?
Who was head of that community choir?
His name is Harrison Bubba Johnson. He's still alive.
Is he?
He is alive.
Did you interview him?
Oh my Lord! Now that's my heart.
Yeah. Okay.
They call him Bubba. Yeah. You see, I don't start smiling for real.
You guys,
I love it.
You have to go to Gospel Diaries. You have to go to Eric Maurice Clark's YouTube channel. He has wonderful interviews. And every time I watch one of them, I just pace myself because it's so much information. You have so many aha moments when watching you interview all these legends of gospel music. It's just, you go from quartet to choir to, just soloist. So you're doing it over there. And I want each and every one of you to subscribe to his channel. Yeah. Man, let's see. Well, we can get back to the Bay a little bit, but I wanted to get down. There's this channel right there, y'all. And I don't know why. Well, he has a gospel music history, but he's going to change that to Gospel Diaries. He don't know it yet, but he's going to change that hashtag to Gospel Diaries so people can find him.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have in San Diego?
Well, of course, Bishop Carlton Pearson.
That's right. He was from San Diego.
Yeah.
That's
and Bishop J.A.
Blake was actually
Jr. is pastoring Jackson. What is the name of the church now? I think it's Fountain Hill. I'm so sorry. I forgot the current name of the church. Yeah. But it was Jackson Park Memorial Church of God in Christ.
So who's pastoring that now?
Bishop Charles Blake's his brother. His
brother.
Elder,
okay.
His elder brother. Yeah.
Mm. And then I like Eddie Beltrip.
I do. Yeah.
He's good, and I think he's having like an anniversary. He brought us, what's the song he penned? He penned Lord, I love you. Yes, I love you. How I love you.
Mm-hmm.
I really love you.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever key that's supposed to be in. That wasn't the key, but
yeah.
And then you have B.Slade.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Oh my Lord, did you hear? Yeah, you have heard. Jackie
who?
Clark.
That lady right there.
Oh, look at
you. Listen here. B.Slade has done it again. This album here is, I like the fact that it is totally not a Clark Sisters album. It's just Jackie. It's just Jackie, what she likes and what she allowed B.Slade to do for her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, B.Slade is one of the best and sought after producers right now.
Oh yeah, he's highly respected.
Yeah, highly respected.
Yeah. Musical genius. He can play almost every instrument there is.
And guess what? He comes out of the PAW with me.
Mm-hmm. B.Slade, he's from no, he's not from California, right?
Yes, he is. He's from San Diego.
San Diego, okay.
Yeah, his parents were pastors, and the most beautiful parents, the Williams, Bishop Williams, and Evangelist Williams. They're out of San Diego. Yes, yeah, he produced that album. Mm-hmm. As bad as Prince, they said.
Is that an album? I thought it was just a single. Is that an album?
No, it's a whole entire album.
Lord,
you got to
download
just heard
one song. I heard "Take It Away." I think.
Huh?
I heard "Take It Away." I think.
Yo, you got to go and get that whole bad boy, that whole album. It's something else.
Grace Jones is blessing me over here. I'm sorry. Okay.
I love and Grace. I don't know if you can see. Let me see if you can see that's the full.
Okay, yeah.
It was done just for me, Devin Wesley out of Los Angeles. I done messed myself up now. Okay, I think I'm better now. He did it for me. I kind of got a couple of Grace Jones's pictures, and he kind of put them all together. And then he came back with that, and it's like Purple Eyes, and it's really nice. You know, we gotta love Grace Jones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You said is her album retro? The album, Darla. Yeah. So let's get into B.Slade's music, Tone. However you address him.
Well, for one thing, his music is self-explanatory, but the way that people choose to love on him and hate on him, you know, this series of uncertainty when it comes to his outward appearance, I think that's ludicrous to me, you know, because it's like first you love me, then you hate me, then you love me, then you hate me again. You know, which one is it?
If I want to use you, I'm going to love you a little bit for temporary.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. But isn't it amazing, like we're speaking of California, how California had so many artists that like changed the game. They were like so out of their element. You had Edwin Hawkins with the Oh Happy Day. Yeah, the Clark sisters did it with You Brought Sunshine with Twinkie. They did it, but I'm talking about just a number of artists that really just changed the game of how we look at gospel music.
Well, for one, you can't leave. I know we lightly talked about him, but the Reverend James Cleveland,
right?
You know, a superstar, a giant. Now, I watched this interview with. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's with Andre Crouch. I know I'm going off, but he was talking to a Caucasian.
You good. Go ahead.
Okay, he was talking to a Caucasian guy, and I don't know. I felt some type of way. I was offensive in a way because I can't remember exactly the words that he used, but in so many words, he was basically saying just a little guy named James Cleveland. He was talking to a Caucasian guy, so supposedly he felt like the guy wouldn't have known who James Cleveland was. And I'm like, wow, why would you?
So Andre said this to the white guy.
Right, because he was talking about his the people that influenced him, and because James came to California in 68 somewhere, 68 somewhere in there. So he was basically saying that was the type of music that he grew up on and things of that sort. So I don't know why he didn't.
This little guy named James Cleveland.
I was like, wow. I'm like, he should know who James Cleveland is.
All the choirs that James had, and he had the Southern California Community Choir, LA Messengers, Gospel Music Workshop. Man, it's just crazy how I just love California. That's what I said. People are gonna move. No, I'm gonna stay right here in California. Thank you.
It's so expensive out there, though.
It is expensive. It definitely is expensive, but we gonna stay here.
Yeah.
So, looking at today, out of Los Angeles, tell me this. You know what I really enjoy? Let's talk about Judith McAllister really quick, because Judith McAllister changed the game in the predominantly African American church. Would you agree? And when it comes to music,
absolutely, because Judith McAllister. So we're talking 80s West Angeles, but prior before her, you got people like Patrick Henderson. That went off to record with the Doobie Brothers and things of that sort. But LA,
and before and after Patrick, we had who? Norman Hutchins.
Oh, Norman. Yeah, absolutely. Norman, yes.
Norman Hutchins. Yes.
Yeah. Norman. Can't leave Norman Hutchins.
Let's talk the mark for the price of the high calling. Yeah, that Norman.
Yeah, but it was a lot that was going on in California because what was her name? Amy Sampson, the Four Corners Evangelical Church, the one that reported that she falsified her kidnapping.
Is that the Fourth Square Church?
This is like probably late 20s, early 30s. But I said that to say that these evangelical churches, they were starting to get really popular in California. So there was a lot of not segregation, but they were mixing not denominations, but ethnicities. And so it required a different sound, and so they got these corporate sounds, I believe, and Judith, she was right there. She helped usher that in. But one thing about it is that when you listen to those, what was the name of those series? West Angeles.
Saints and Praise.
Yes, when you listen to those, it sounds a bit like the Christian world, but at the same time, you can still hone in that soul in that music. And I think they did a remarkable job ushering praise and worship in the African American church.
All Judith did was steal back what they stole from us. That's what she did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, before Judith was there, it was Kurt Carr.
No, Kurt.
Or Kurt Carr came.
Yeah, because Kurt. Because remember, Awesome Wonders came out in 2000. Interesting, you would say Kurt Carr. Kurt Carr is amazing.
Yeah, he is, and he was West Angeles Gold. He
Yeah,
was Gold for a long time.
That eluded. His story is similar to Bobby Jones. Because he wasn't raised in the church. He wasn't reared in the church. So gospel music, he learned gospel music. And that's one thing that I think is amazing about gospel music is that even though he wasn't raised in the church. Hold on for 1 second. Go ahead, talk. I'm so sorry.
All right. For those of you who are coming in, make sure that you are hitting like, all right, for us, and always comment respectfully. Subscribe to my channel and Eric's channel. Share right now. Everybody hit share. You can join the channel and always donate, all right? So everybody right now, we want you to share this this live, because this is very important information that you should know. Y'all can get back to all that love and hip hop and all that.
That's still come on.
Y'all be doing who Krishan is slapping upside their head and Blueface. Y'all, this is way more important than that mess. All right.
I didn't know that still came on.
Yeah, they still over there loving hip hop, and yeah, they for sure it is. See, what did you say, Dolly? You said, I've always appreciated Jackie's voice because it's not traditional. Right. It isn't. It isn't like like Denise said, the blend is different. Messy Denise. She has some notes on okay. All right. Yeah.
I just wish that they would let us hear her voice better.
Right.
Period.
Right.
Because half the time when you hear her, it's almost like you're trying to turn the volume up. But it's already on the max. It's already on 10.
And she's not one of those. She's not a Karen. She's not a Dorinda. I mean, we have those voices that we've been hearing and that we can appreciate. Let's see. Give me some voices, y'all, in the chat that have more like a smooth groove type of voice. What do you think, Eric?
Well, of course. I mean, I want to say Kim Burrell.
That's true, because but Kim can take you to church and go there though. Mm-hmm. But in her regular deal, it is nice and smooth. It is. Yeah.
A lot of people miss out that the church is filled with emotions. All of those twists and turns with the voice. That is, you can learn that.
You can.
That is a technique.
Right. Mm-hmm. Someone says Phyllis Pace. Is she part of the Pace sisters?
Yeah, that's Pace sisters.
Okay. She has more of a smooth groove type of voice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Phyllis Pace. Yolanda, but Yolanda goes to church, Teresa.
She does.
She does have that little nice groovy voice, but yeah, she goes to church. She says she sung with Mr. Clean. Okay. All right. Mr. Clean. So I'm still down in San Diego. I'm trying to find. I think that's Dwayne Woods is down there in San Diego now, but he's not from San Diego.
Right.
But he is down there now, Mr. Dwayne Woods. Let go, let God, let go.
I love his voice.
God. Yeah, I love that song. So we had Eddie Beltrip, we had Carlton Pearson, B.Slade. Not a whole lot down there in San Diego. Who else did we have on? So what do you think about let's talk Tremaine. Marva, wait a minute, before we go there, who's Marva Hines?
Oh God, yes.
Okay, tell me something.
Oh my Lord, have
Thanks,
mercy.
Jordan.
Please make me better, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Is that her?
Yes.
If it's
you know what? I know that you can't because of copyright, but oh my God, I want to recommend you all Go listen to Marvin Hines. I Can Depend on Jesus.
Mm.
It'll wipe
Let
you
me
out.
see something here. Now, if y'all watching the channel and you say what nothing on there, that's because I edited it out because we got a copyright thing.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Going on the name. All right.
James Cleveland is the Barry Gordy of gospel music.
He really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, is that you?
Huh?
Hold on. Let me and I forgot
Marvin
to
Hines.
change this.
And she's talking about her feeling when she heard Lady Diane Williams sing her original composition.
We could do all kind of stuff, but we won't.
So you have an interview with Marvin Hines.
Oh yeah. Oh, we're friends, close friends.
See, that's what I'm saying. And you didn't bring her name up, Eric. How dare you? It took Jordan to bring her name up.
Yeah.
Escalating.
So y'all,
all the way through it.
Y'all make sure y'all go to Gospel Diaries and you click on and he does have the video of Marva Hines, who is is she from San Diego or
she's from California. Yeah, her mom just passed away. Her mom was like 90-something years old. But she sang with the Southern California choir. She was a James Cleveland singer.
Okay.
Marvin Hines sang with the Harrison Johnson Singers, which was a group of singers that spent off from the Los Angeles Community Choir.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Wow, that's interesting.
Cosmopolitan recorded that song. That's her song.
They did. See, I always thought it was Cosmopolitan.
No, that's Marvin Hines' song.
Yeah. You know what? Can we just go back? I know we staying in San Diego, but we love San Diego. And this is a big reason why we love San Diego, right there. B.Slade.
Oh, wow. Going on, B.Slade.
What it is.
How you doing?
It is, sir. How are you?
I'm good, enjoying my almonds.
Your almonds. Okay. Are you also enjoying the fruits of your labor?
Yes, I am, man. I'm very excited. The Jackie? I'm very excited. The response has been incredible. But I knew it would be. I knew this whole time if she'd ever gave me the green light to launch this, that it was going to be a whole problem. Because it's really good, and she worked really hard on it. 10 years to be exact.
We talked the other night, and I told you, man, listen, I think it is like the best thing ever because it just sets her apart from what we're just used to with the Clark. We love the Clark sisters, right, Eric, and the Clark sisters sound. But it is wonderful when we can get.
She's just so down to earth, and I just wanted the album to reflect that personality that I got to know.
Yeah,
a lot of people. Yeah. Some people know how funny she can be, but her personality is just great. She's great to be around.
They said you did that, sir.
Thank you. I felt like I did the master's work. I know what it's like to be the underdog.
What about the cover? Whose idea was it for the artwork?
Well, I picked the picture, but the artwork was done by my creative partner, Anton Foster, who also co-produced the album. And we had been discussing this look for her for a long time. We would send lookbooks to each other about the direction we wanted to go into. So we drew a lot of inspiration from Miranda Priestley and just how someone could be in a later season in their life, how ageism in Western civilization oftentimes dismisses people as if they're no longer relevant or valuable in the current commercial marketplace. And she defies all that, just like Meryl Streep does every movie. And so when I saw Jackie, I was like, you know what? This is her moment to kind of like, I don't know, pull it up to like a Kojic Couture. And so the people that Anton assembled, Annette Groves and the team out there in Atlanta, I couldn't be there for the shoot because I was working at the time. But believe me, for years and years and years, months and months and months, he and I will go back with different lookbooks. Like whichever artist I work with, I do lookbooks, meaning different looks, different sounds, inspirations that I could draw from to make the beats and the fabrics for each project. And because we took our time with this and she was fearless, you know, in her position of who she is and all she represents is so many different markets, for her to take this and say, hey, y'all, this is me, take it or leave it, I'm with that. And everyone's going crazy because we didn't announce it. She pulled a Jackie Yonsei.
She went bam. Mm-hmm. She said, "Oh, y'all having a convocation? Hold on for a minute."
That's exactly what happened.
Hold on for a minute. Let me get off first of all, let me get off this touring stage for a minute to drop this bad boy.
Yeah, but yeah, no announcement. You'll just find out about it. And you're going to find out about it because why is no one ready? That's great, man. For her to even be, you know, fearless enough to start the album off that way says a lot about, she doesn't take herself seriously at all. She's so not serious. I want y'all to know, she does not take herself seriously whatsoever. She jokes around and trolls all the time. So she's trolling from the beginning. Like, it's just, you know, because she doesn't mean anything by it. It's just all fun to her. Like, it's just who she is. And that's what I like about her.
She's at an age right now. You do not need to prove yourself to anyone.
Nah. She's already accomplished and decorated.
You're accomplished. You've traveled the world. You've sung gospel. You've been on all type of stages outside.
You work with Missy Elliott
and B.Slade.
And B.Slade.
Thank you.
I mean, you have really nothing to prove but to put out your Red Cup. All right.
Yes.
Your water. But to put out something that says, you know what? This is really me. I've been messing with y'all for
50 years. I've been playing my role, playing my position faithfully without complaint. Having to look at memes that show different shoes, and her shoes is like the flat, you know, Flintstone shoe, while everyone else has a Christian Louboutin shoe. It's all fun and games, you know, to all of the people keying about it until they realize Jackie sees that stuff.
Right.
It's all fun and games until someone could have their feelings hurt by the way people who say they love the Clark sisters disrespect Jackie in particular so much.
Right.
Or underrate her.
I think
discount her contribution.
I think we just put her to the side because she hasn't always been one of the ones out on that main stage hollering. We're used to Karen, we're used to Dorinda, we're used to Twinkie. Yeah.
But those are all growl machines too, but she can growl too though. Go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say her voice, it completes the sound. You know, if you didn't have her voice.
Yeah. But like you were saying, B.Slade, about
it would not be the Clark sisters without her. She does round it out. That's great. That's a great way to say it.
Amazing.
And her parts are not easy. Those tenor parts, or especially earlier Clark sisters selections, are not easy parts. Usually alto parts are the complicated ones. That's
why everybody, you know, slips in the soprano and tenor. But like, could you hold your parts, altos? They can never hold the part.
But we all know that altos are just lazy sopranos, though.
They really are. Yes, they are.
Hey, I have a question. If you were to produce a Clark sisters record, how would that sound?
I would say from an architectural standpoint, very clean lines. I would base it all off purest gold. I would focus the group on harmonies that come from the throne. And then I would also have sessions with Twinkie separately to get her actively involved with Pro Tools so she can start programming her own new material. I don't think anyone's taken the time to show her how to do it, but once she learns how to do it herself, the things she'll make beat-wise, I think could be very interesting, and I would like to collaborate with her on that part as a producer. I would obviously come in as a subcontracted, creative person in addition to whoever else wants to be involved with the record. But if I was to solely be an executive producer in that regard, that's the first thing I would do, was return to the harmonies that make people get chills, because you know that this had to come from someone who had been in prayer with God, because these chords just don't come by osmosis. That comes from time with the Lord.
Because that's and you speaking of that that era, was that Pure Gold and
Purest Gold and Is
That's
My Living
90s.
in Vain, and that's 80s. That the
Oh,
but they had the black and white.
oh yeah, 80s.
It looked like they're like, I don't know what those words were.
You talking about the blue background?
It had like, no, they were like in a choir stand or something, like, and they had like, it looked like ushers or something, like they looked like they were in a choir, but they put them in a group.
Oh, that's the one. Is My Living in Vain?
Yes.
Yeah, I think
I was like, so it was like after church, it was like, hey girls, stand right here, don't move.
we gonna get this picture. Y'all got the robes on, we gonna get it. I gave you my list of who I said you ought to work with.
Okay. I would love to work with them. I think that because we all joke around, I was able to go backstage, during the reunion tour, and just like, first of all, I should have brought in some raw cookie dough, because it was so hot in there. I would have had fresh cookies in 9 minutes.
Wasn't that hot?
I saw 4, and the 4th looked like the Son of God. I got out of there. It was a fiery furnace. The clerks all like it all toasty warm. I'm like, what is this?
Like Tremaine. It's just like Tremaine. You can't have not 1 ounce of a fan or air condition on, or she won't even sing.
Aretha,
Luther Vandross.
Yeah. The greats.
The greats. But I'm saying that just to be able to go backstage and laugh with them and have that camaraderie. And for years, like, going to SMAC conferences and things of that nature, and me and Brenda can't sit next to each other in any award show or any church service, because we're always cutting up, because she's as crazy as I am, like joke wise. Yeah. So I can imagine how much we'd cut up as a collective. I would love to do that. I would love to work with them. I would love to just have a chance to have apostolic boys see these cultured girls in a new way.
Wow.
Apostolic. Oh, you got 3 apostolic boys sitting on this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, Acts 2:38 for life. Bang, bang, gang,
gang. Tell me something about this real quick.
Oh.
The sweetest name
Changed my life forever.
Why you do them people like that?
I had just found out that Jackie gave me the green light to release that album Friday. So I had all that behind that singing. God had just done something for me personally. I've been waiting 10 years for that news. I just got that news the night before, when Jackie snuck out to come to the secret studio to verify that all the songs sounded right before we secretly launched. We went to a studio that nobody knew about so that we could hear it without it leaking.
While she was in LA on the tour.
Correct. Yeah, we were making moves, quiet moves the entire time. And so I'm walking into the reunion tour knowing this information, but I can't share that information. So when he handed me that mic, and all that night, the whole cast had been showing me nothing but love. I toured with a lot of these people for many years. So just the love, like coming up to me, dapping me, bowing down, slapping, loving, just every single one of them was showing so much love. And then I pay a ticket. I wasn't a special guest. I just want everybody to know I was not a special guest or an invited guest. I wasn't planted there. I bought a ticket and I wanted a good seat. I didn't want to be bothered. So I got in the Amen section, which was the best seat ever because I saw the Clark sisters like
Right there.
right there. Oh my God.
My opinion, it was the Clark sisters concert with a lot of openers.
I feel like they were the ones who stole the show. I really do. Not even stole it, but it was more like they just have a lot of years behind their chemistry and charisma, and it's nothing you compete with. You just let it be, and you
Just
get
let it
excited
flow.
about it, let it flow. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's not because like I'm a fan. I am a fan, but outside of all of that, I wished I had seen more of them involved in the show. More either another second set with a few other of their hits. I know that I like the set that it was. Don't get me wrong. Like sometimes you got to leave the people up, before they start
Right.
sitting back down. You know what I'm saying? So I like that approach too. But I would have loved to have seen like one more quick little thing that happened, or I don't know. I don't know what that would have been, but I just felt like I wanted a little bit more of the Clark sisters in there.
20 years next year, sir. Out of the box.
Yes.
20-year anniversary.
Eric,
this has to be big.
It's I know it's big.
We are going to bug each and every platform, every award show, we got to see it. We got to see a remake of Out of the Box.
Yeah, I agree. I thought about that when Kirk handed me that mic because he was in Out the Box. He's on like two numbers in that one. He played piano on God Is Not Forgot, and we did a song together called Since Jesus Came. We had a dance battle and everything. It was great. So since that time, we hadn't worked together in that regard. We've been on award shows together. He hosted the Stellars one year when I was on with Snoop. And Kirk always sees me. He'll say things like, well, you look healthy. I'm like, well, nigga, what am I supposed to be? Unhealthy?
Supposed to be half dead, Kirk?
Well, you look real healthy. Yeah, nigga, I know. It was just really cool to see him at those award shows. He'll be hosting, but we never got a chance to really collaborate or talk or anything since those times. So for him to graciously, randomly hand me that mic on a song that's already my favorite song.
Right.
That was already imagine being able to sing the song you always love to sing anyway, and the writer of said song says, here you go.
Take it.
What?
Yeah.
So whatever's going on in Kirk's life on the reconciliation restoration tip, it's across the board. Tens.
Yeah. And we're going to accept it. We're going to be open to it. And
yeah, because here's the thing. Like, had I been closed off or scared or not sure where everybody's coming from, and didn't come in there with an already open heart to receive, I could have missed out on a really, life-shifting, career-defining, groundbreaking personal moment. You gotta get better, not bitter.
Right.
Everyone on that cast has been through some things since I've been through some things, so the grace is there.
Right.
We all need a cross. So I felt genuine, unconditional love from everybody involved. I enjoyed myself the entire night. I actually was able to receive for a change instead of always being on the stage. And I just took that in and thought to myself, Out the Box. There's an Out the Box 2 that's already out. There's an Out the Box 3 that's already out. It's available at B.Slade.bandcamp.com. And it hasn't been released to all streaming platforms, but it is on exclusively there.
And again, you said that was the moderators.
Yeah, B.Slade.bandcamp.com.
B.Slade.bandcamp.com. Yeah.
And that's
they said, Make Me Over. Yeah. Absolute favorite.
That song is still doing way more than I ever anticipated it would do, writing it in an IHOP parking lot. That's for sure.
You wrote it in an IHOP parking lot, sir?
Absolutely.
And where did it come from? What was the thought pattern? How did it enter your psyche?
Well, number one, I had this black journal that I would take with me everywhere. And I was kind of like, how do I go about talking about the truth of who I am. And there's a song called Feelings from from an album called Oak Park. Make Me Over actually comes from that song, but most people don't want the feeling song. They only want the Make Me Over part of the song.
Right.
Make Me Over came from the end of Feelings, which features a Karen Carpenter sample. It's really, really powerful, very vulnerable song. My label at the time thought it was a little bit too vulnerable and wouldn't let me put Feelings out. So I had to put that out independently. But Make Me Over would not have happened without the vulnerable nature and candid storytelling of Feelings. I don't think people know that. And so I say that because a lot of times when we sing songs like Available to You, we'll go straight to the hook and not really
Lord,
focus.
I'm available. Yeah, just go right there.
And we sing it in a very cocky way. We sing in a very condescending way, a very I'm the bomb way. I'm available to you. You know, we already know it's not even from, you're singing something from a stylistic standpoint. That's fine. I do it all the time. However, that's your only reward. Are you really listening to what these lyrics are saying, written by a man who was on his deathbed?
Wow.
Are you really gonna play it like this is karaoke? Listen to all of the words of Lord, I'm available to you. Then the hook pays off. See, folks want to just skip to the hook of Lord, Make Me Over and thinks that's the hit. No, it's not. It's them scary lyrics. You know my other side.
Yeah.
That shuts the church down right there.
You have to sing it, though. There's not one
person in one congregation that cannot identify with that first line. I don't care how saved you think you are. Lord, you know my other side. I can no longer hide. Let you down so many times. This one is cold. Sin freshly crucifies. Thought that I had a plan. I had it all figured out. But the more that you tried to be by my side, the more I pushed you out. Lord, make me over. Lord, make me over. Lord, make me over. Make me over again. See, someone who can't sing real good can sing, Lord, make me over. Lord, make me over. Make me over again. Versus, which would be like, oh, wow, bravo. Man, that bro can sing. But I can't connect because I can't sing along. This is one of them songs that make you feel it. And even if I can't sing, I can sincerely sing what this song represents.
You cannot be doing this to me. My God.
And you don't do that ever. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. You've known me a long time, buddy. We've known each other a long, long, long time.
That's why I know those are just not lyrics for you. That's life.
Yeah. You knew my parents, bro, very well.
I did.
So when I say this is full circle, to be able to be, it's called the reunion tour, to be reunited with people I really admire and care about while going through the strikes, because it's been a very difficult financial time for many of my actor friends and dancer friends, production crew friends out here. A lot of people have had to move back home or go back with their parents or leave state. You know, it's been bad.
Yeah.
And so to be able to have that great news about this album coming out on that Friday while I'm singing that song. And there's like some people are like, well, that's you know, who's that? You know, they were sitting down on stage. So I was like, I'm gonna sit down too. You know, that's it. Why do I need to stand up and I'm about to do this part? We all sitting down because I'm really about to sing this straight to the Lord, just like Lord, make me over. That's straight to him. And so basically what happened was 19,000 people eavesdrop on what I do in my car any day with him.
Right.
That's how I sing the game anyway. At home, like, it's not just for stage for me. It's at Walmart. He doesn't care. When he wants me to praise him, it's popping.
Questions, Aaron?
Yeah.
No, I'm just absorbing. I mean, of course, there's many things we could ask, but I'm just absorbing.
We're talking about California music and the impact artists in California have had on the gospel music industry. What would you say has been the most impactful artist or legend that comes out of California?
Walter Hawkins.
Hmm.
Walter Hawkins. Not excluding Edwin. I love him for different reasons. Because he's more of like the epitome of class, style, grace.
Oh, absolutely.
He reminds me a lot of Donald Lawrence.
Yes, yes.
How like Donald Lawrence is in the industry, but you don't ever really see him.
Mm-hmm.
He's like,
he just goes in and out.
He just goes in and out kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And that's what a hamburger's all about. So I like Walter Hawkins the most, I think, because that was the first sounds I heard. The first sounds I can remember as a musician is I Won't Be Satisfied from the Love Alive album. So that la 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 la. That's beautiful. Like,
I mean,
that's not even what? That's not even.
It's
gospel.
not even
like,
beautiful. It's
you know what I'm
gorgeous.
saying?
It's gorgeous.
Really is. It's like a dream. So imagine hearing that as a little kid, but then they're blending these beautiful melodies or arrangements, which obviously came by way of listening to other music outside of gospel. And if you look at the research, they studied Streisand and everybody else, like Burt Bacharach and Henry Mancini and things of that nature. That all comes into the choices and the risks that they took as a family.
Right.
There is no other locomotive in the world like the locomotive of a badass Oakland band. You can forget it. Curtains, good night, quick, fast. Don't turn your mic for a second or this drumstick might end up in your yes.
Even to this day, B, those freaking Oakland musicians are so aggressive.
I got chills, bro. Just talking about it. It's so aggressive. And that's what makes me, when I came to Yoshi's, I had to have an Oakland band.
Yeah.
Why would I play myself and not utilize those goons? And they go in. Listen, the organists that I work with out there, the drummers I work with out there, they look like you better have protection.
Right. They're a little scary. But that's okay.
But that's what I need. If I'm gonna give my best, then I have to be surrounded by the best that are relentless. I'm a very relentless artist live. I blank out. I don't care. You're gonna get on it or you're not, but either way, you're gonna watch.
And some of them said they've seen you with Patty.
Oh yes, I love Miss Patty. I toured with her for 5 years. About a year ago, I started getting back to working on my own career because I wanted to move into film. But I had a great time being, creative director, bongo player, rapper, singer, son.
Whatever Patty said, B, you were that.
I was that, like at her house, her making me the most amazing dinner I've ever had in my life. Being able to record songs for her new record and see her deal with Pro Tools in a way that, showing her waveforms and, like, oh, I get it. It's like, so Miss Patty, this is that waveform. On the second waveform you stack, I wanted to look just like that. She's like, so make it look like that. She's like, okay, I'll try. And then so she got it right. And I showed it to her on the giant screen. I said, see how these two match? Now listen how it sounds. I play it back. She's like, oh, so I just got to keep doing that all 4 times or all 8 times. It's like, yes. When she heard herself back, wow. I have that thing for just seeing people hear and realize themselves in a way they never could have thought of before. That's what you did with Jackie. Yeah. That's my calling, to do that with particularly underdogs, those who are underrated or those who are gaslit.
Yeah.
or humiliated. I want to help them shine and glow and get their dignity and their esteem back, because it's very humiliating when someone is making fun of you or doesn't take your offering seriously.
And you have proven that all the humiliation and ridiculousness that you've gone through, that it was all just a tool to put you on top and to be the leader for the people that are on top, supposedly. You're taking these folks to the next level that they couldn't have got it with no one who hasn't been through anything.
That's the key. We overcome by the words of our testimony, and that's why a lot of the churches don't have the power. We don't know how to filter the testimony service. Like if you have a good testimony service MC or conductor, they know how to keep it moving when someone starts drifting off the track.
Yeah.
But the reason why the church isn't really seeing a lot of power is because we've removed testimony service. It's one thing to hear your pastor give you a word, but when you hear another lay member who's like you testify of his goodness or some faith issue, you can see yourself in relation to them more than you can sometimes leaders or bishops and things, because you can relate to them on that level. And when we remove that aspect, people stop overcoming. There's more depression in the church than ever before. Why? Because we're not testifying. We're not testifying like this situation happened. This was what was the plot, but here comes the twist. Jesus did this.
Right.
You don't need a preacher sometimes. Sometimes testimony service will wreck a church. Just testimony service.
I've been there. A mother got up and just yeah.
But we don't. That thing is part of it. Is there's no sacred area of sanctuary to testify about things that are not meant for streaming audiences.
Right. This is all about
There's some ways
right
that I pray. Some ways that I praise the Lord. Yes, I don't want that captured. Some I don't care. But there's other moments when, if I'm coming to church, I don't want to end up on your jumbotron with snot in my nose while I'm speaking in tongues, so that people can drag me. Right. But at Disney, at the Pantages Theater, when I went to see Aladdin, they said no photography, no streaming, no nothing. But with Disney, which is not a deity, we treat it more like a deity and respect the rules of their sanctuary, while we up here texting, scrolling, swiping. Oh no, I'm capturing the service for those who weren't there. No, put that phone down. Yeah. And you get into the service yourself.
Yes.
And I feel like Walter Hawkins, Oakland band members, these were people who had real lives, so the way they played wasn't pretentious.
Right.
Some of them this was their only way out. This was their only positive expression outside of jacking somebody, hurting someone, or killing somebody.
Yeah,
it's a little bit different. It hits a little bit different, especially when they play after the Lord has brought them out of something. Musicians play different. That's why there should be two musicians of each one in every church, so that just in case the Holy Ghost hit the drummer or the organ, someone else can slip right in. Because I came from a church where sometimes the choir, it was in shambles.
Yeah.
And people come to try to help somebody else, and then they in shambles. Then the musicians start praising them, then they in shambles. So all of those elements remind me of what Oakland embedded in me as a kid. If I didn't have Walter, I would not be able to provide what I did for Jackie. Like Oakland is
so deep right there.
Directly responsible for a Detroit person's career. You know what I'm saying? So, but here's the gag. The Clark sisters, when they were out in California doing that gospel movie, it was in Oakland. I believe at the Paramount Theater with Walter Hawkins, Mighty Clouds of Joy, Shirley Caesar, James Cleveland. They were all in Oakland.
Right.
The Clark sisters were all in Oakland. I saw that movie as a little kid in a theater, a real movie theater. So imagine seeing all that anointing, all that gospel, Karen's wide doe eyes staring in that camera. And I'm just like,
the gospel?
Beautiful. Yes, it's called Gospel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's 1982, and it's fantastic. It is a fantastic. It's on film. It's not on video, meaning it's cinematic.
I'm
There
gonna
was a real
research that and
director
go
involved.
find it.
You
Shirley
must watch it.
Caesar is on there too.
Absolutely. She killed it. She gave me chills. She gave
But
me
it's-
chills on that thing.
yeah.
I got chills now thinking about it. But imagine
Look.
your first impact as a kid is
Mhm.
seeing these people 50 feet high.
Yeah.
People in the theater shouting off
Right.
of what's happening on the screen. Nigga, I'd never seen that before. So I was like, I want to do that. I want to feel like the
Do you
theater
think that
felt.
part was staged?
No,
With the
I
drummer?
don't.
You
No,
know?
I feel like the one with James Cleveland was, but I don't feel like the one with the Clark sisters was.
James
I
was a
don't.
little showy when he
So-
got to
so-
Hollywood.
No,
it
no,
was
I'm
over.
not mad about that part where he's supposed to get off the drums, then he hops back
Yeah,
on again,
yeah,
then he leaves
yeah.
back on, he hops back on again.
Right.
I call that showmanship. That's
Yeah.
entertainerstry.
Yeah.
That's what makes we just like Kirk Franklin. That was you really think he was trying to snatch the mic back from me for real? Or was
Right,
he good? Did
exactly.
he have to literally run across the stage like someone just got shot in the arena? No, but that adds to the theatrics of it all.
Yeah.
It's
It didn't
something-
start
that's
with Kirk Franklin.
You know
it
what I'm
started
saying?
back
It started
then.
back then. Because hey, we love hijinks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we do.
Gospel artists are wacky, man. We're just
And it's just
hilarious.
like now we have Ricky Dillon and Lillian Lloyd. You know,
I was thinking of that. It's just wacky. It's like we live for
Father Hayes and Diane.
Thank you very much. You understand what I'm saying? Part of that, you know, for example, like who writes the lyric? Woman, you sound foolish. Don't sound like a wife. I mean, don't sound like a wife. Like what is that? You know, I feel like part of that is theatrics. Or if Shirley Caesar's telling a story, you know, for the 9 months I carried you growing inside me, no charge. You know, like, yes, it's like, yes, gospel, but it's also like this story arc to it. It's like a great storytelling. It's like country music storytelling. Like I can't listen to too much country music because I always get emo.
You get in your feelings, yeah.
I do, because what they saying is so,
Yeah.
the lyrics be so poignant and they mean what they say.
Yeah.
And the thing about the Clark sisters and even the Hawk is like, I like how they kept it edgy, but it was always word laced.
Yeah.
And word based. When you sing scriptures, bro, something happens. You can't sing scriptures. Just like you can't sing Jesus too many times and you can't say hallelujah too many times.
If you didn't feel it, you don't got it.
You don't got it. Get back down there, baby. You need the evidence. I just hear stammering lips. You need the boldness. Yes.
Wow.
That's what you need. Get back down there. You ain't got it yet.
She says, B.Slade, I love your heart. I am from East Palo Alto and I understand everything you're saying about Oakland, California, Bay Area, Northern California. Yes.
Absolutely. It's distinct, right? It's distinct.
Thank you, Jessica. It's a different, and I find it in Los Angeles as well, but there's a distinct difference.
Yeah, there is a distinct difference. Just like, you know, San Francisco as if New York and San Diego had a baby, right?
Gotcha.
So no, it's true. You think about it, that's kind of what it is.
Okay, I can see that.
Oakland is that step kid that was pushed off to the side, overlooked, but had a real heart to survive.
Yeah.
And if you climb up through that rank, usually people that get to climb through it end up as Tony or somebody, you know, because it's not easy to break through. Sly and the Family Stone. It's not easy to break through there. Oakland's always treated like, I don't know. I feel like people be giving it a little too much sometimes, and I get it. It's Richmond's even like, whoa, you better be ready. Yeah,
Richmond's a little interesting now.
but that didn't just happen by osmosis either.
It didn't. No.
It
the Oakland people moved to Richmond.
They're like, look, we trying to get away, and now that's even more lit than Oakland was, you know. But all of the culmination of all of that is what makes people not play around when they get to this sanctuary on those instruments, or not play around on that mic when they get it, because my life is at stake. It's either this or something that's not going to be good.
Yeah.
You can hear that in the music and the writing and the arrangements and the intensity of the play. Period. Every time. Still to this day.
You're doing movies, right?
Yes, I am. I just shot my first of 5. I still have a few more scenes to shoot for my role in this particular film. I did all my stunts last night, so I'm very bruised up on my hip. My shoulder is a little messed up, but I wanted to do my own stunts. and people are going to be very surprised. It's called Hollywood Producer, and
Wow.
I am playing an antagonist, actually. Very someone that you guys are. It's so weird. Like in Dietrich's movie, I also play. I don't want to say I was an antagonist in Dietrich's movie, The Fallen, but I was certainly someone who was insecure and really, I don't know, arrogant and smug, like the character Hook Harmony. This one is another smug person, but this is a sociopath now. Now we're talking about someone who can't even recognize the feelings of others because somehow they take the things they do to others and make themselves the victim, even though they were the initiator. And this is to manipulate himself. I don't want to give the plot away, but to manipulate himself to remain in a place of power he didn't really earn. So I had to not judge that, not worry about how people would perceive me as the actor, and just tell that story. And y'all have never seen me in a capacity like the scene I just shot last night. I shot from 12 to 9:30, 4 different scenes, 4 different locations as well. And the last location, you guys are just, I feel like you guys going to be like, wow,
Well, the
I never
chat
would've
does
thought.
not want you to do your own stunts, B.Slade.
If there are those that are absolutely dangerous that I feel smart enough to know not to do, yes.
Okay.
But I train for this stuff. You know, I'm a gymnast. A lot of people don't know that I actually can do flips. I flipped off of pulpits and landed it while singing before. Like all of those things are. I love gymnastics, you know, acrobatics and things of that nature. So I've always had that Steve McQueen, you know, tactical espionage hero type CSI, you know, run, fight, chase scene.
Yeah.
I've always known I wanted to do those types of films. So this was very physical last night, and everyone's I think just gonna be super surprised that just if you just put yourself out there, because I put an audition reel that I put together myself on my Instagram, and I was just like, I'm ready to act. You know, 183. I went through 4 different characters in about 30 or 60 seconds just to kind of give them some range and a quick bit. I booked 5 films.
Wow. Well, Eric, we need him to book the Prince biopic and the Sylvester biopic movie.
Man, that would
right?
be awesome. That would be awesome. You know, part of the reason I got the name B.Slade came from when I had to study for at least the aesthetic of what the Sylvester biopic I was working on at the time was going to do. There was a movie called
because I thought you were supposed to do that. I could have swore we talked about that back in the day.
Yeah. I'm sure it's still going to happen, but just like I've noticed, like for example, Mahogany was I think written in 1962. Diana Ross and Mahogany was written in 1962 before she was even famous. Yeah. And then years later, 1975, the film was finally made. Same thing with Jackie's album. We started in 2013, but it releases in, you know, November of 2023. Wow. Some things are worth the wait. Yeah. You know? So, yeah. Look at that.
Look at that.
She's beautiful.
Like it's beautiful. And people are saying, absolutely, you know, oh, she was, you know, pulled in or whatever. No, she wasn't. It's just the way that we cast the shadow. If there's another picture of her inside of the back of the Maserati, you can
listen here. I don't care if y'all AI'd it, snatched it. That's Jackie, okay?
No, I know, but I wanted to be clear about the fact that she actually fit in that dress, and she did the work to dress. Actually.
Yeah. Is she leaning on an actual piano?
Yeah, that's an actual piano inside of a warehouse. She talks about it on my my Instagram. You guys should check out her giving details of the photo shoot.
Yeah, she was on with you last night, right?
Yeah, I wasn't able to be at that shoot in Atlanta because I was busy with Patty at the time, I think. And so Anton Foster, who's the creative director, made sure everybody out in Atlanta knew what direction I wanted to go in, and that Anton and I had discussed. She was on board for it. So the stylist, the hair, Annette Groves, who shot the photo, shout out to Annette Groves for capturing that. It almost looks like Italian Vogue or like a Vanity Fair type picture. And I felt like for the dynasty of the Clark sisters, this is a new era of Renaissance because no one saw this twist coming. We have the new baby coming into the dynasty. And now we have Jackie's new baby coming into the dynasty. And we are also seeing her rebirth. So it's an interesting time in the Clark dynasty in my mind. I mean, it's a very exciting time to be alive to see Jackie make this happen while all sisters are on tour. This is a very special time in gospel, in music.
And Jackie needs to go out and hit that tour with some other ladies, maybe 1 or 2 others,
Yeah,
and make.
I think it'll be awesome. I
Yeah.
think that's an awesome idea. I think that would be a great idea. I would love to see her alongside Anita Wilson and Yolanda Adams, and
Oh
you know,
yeah.
I would love to see that. And so she's coming out, so we can start developing, you know, her stage show. She still has more press to do in Los Angeles. She still has more photo shoots to do, because you know how it is. You do photo shoots, and as soon as you put them out, all the photos are already used, so you want to come up with some new ones.
Right.
So she's coming out for to shoot that. Oh, my food must be here. Hold on 1 second.
Again, everybody, make sure that you are supporting the channel by liking, subscribing, and commenting, and joining, donating, doing whatever you can do to support the St. James Show, and also support Eric Maurice Clark at Gospel Diaries. You know, Eric, I always have something up my sleeve when you come on the show.
You do, and this was a pleasant surprise. Do you hear me?
No, false alarm. Chance just knows.
False alarm. Well, we don't want to keep you. I wanted to just for you to speak to it, and we wanted to speak to you for a little while. We don't want to hold you all night, but we are so proud of you. Absolutely. And we look forward to, I know I look forward to what else the highly sought after producer is coming up with.
I'm very excited. Shirley Ralph's, she's also on the same label, Peerless Music Group. I worked on that holiday record. The album is called Slay. So if you guys want some really cool holiday music, check out Shirley Ralph's Slay album. The video is out. She was on Good Morning America. CDs are going to be available as well. And that'll be a good thing to do. Also, Brandy's new Christmas album. Go get that too.
Did you do something on her album as well?
Brandy?
Yeah.
No, not yet. I've sent her 5 songs that she loves. We just have to just make it, you know how it is, like schedules. It's like with Jackie, it was like a scheduling thing.
Right.
But I ordered my vinyl, you know, weeks ago. Yeah. But that's Shirley Ralph's Slay album. I worked on the whole project. I think you guys be really surprised. The same way that I did the art direction for this one too. I just love seeing, you know, people just clean lines, glamour.
Yeah.
I just love opulence. You know, that's a running theme, is to show that that ageism thing that goes in the Western civilization. Y'all stop all that. Some people get better with time. Yeah. And so hopefully Jackie's album will open up doors for other mature artists to know that they can still have a voice and success. Hey,
if Shirley Caesar can do it.
Absolutely.
You telling lies, but I know the truth.
Yes, you remember that song?
Wasn't that your song and her?
Yeah. I wrote it in San Diego, tested it out on North Park Apostolic, because I was like, if the Apostolics like it, then I can take it to Shirley Caesar.
Yeah, you got to test it with
we got thumbs up at North Park Apostolic. The church loved it. Then I took it to Shirley, who said, at that time I was still Tony. She's like, Tony? I was like, yes, Mama Shirley. I want to rap. I was like, she talks the way she sings, which is crazy. Because one time she was at McDonald's and she was ordering, yes, I'd like the number 1 with no pickles, sesame seed bun. And they said, well, is that complete your order, ma'am? She's like, yes. They're like, well, that'll be. She's like, nah, no charge.
No, you're so stupid. It's so dumb.
Bye.
What an amazing night.
He is wild. He is so wild. Mm-hmm. Man, you know, I had to do a little something special tonight for California.
Beautiful.
I love California.
Well, we didn't talk about a lot of people, but I know we
didn't talk. There's a lot of people that we can, but my thing is I want to run everybody to Gospel Diaries, because you have really got some good California folks over there, and you have told the story and did great interviews. You just had an interview you dropped this week. What was that interview?
Tyrone Scott. He's one of the last organists alive that played for the Claire War Takers.
Gotcha. Okay. Man, I think that, and you know, it's so funny because musicians definitely got the stories.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh yes.
Musicians got the background. Tyrone Scott. That's they put, yeah. Man, let's see. Anything Daryl Coley.
Yes.
Daryl Coley. So
Well,
Bay Area,
mm-hmm.
then Los Angeles.
Well,
Hawkins
no,
got him started. Who got him started?
Los Angeles, and then Bay. Because you got to remember, Andre Crouch, she had the Kojaks. Remember Blinky? She used to, Sandra Williams, she used to sing with her. You had a lot of groups.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah, because, you know, actually in LA, St. Paul, I think they were called the Echoes of Eden, Pastor Brenham. They actually did a recording in it was circa 1948, and that brought a lot of attention to the West Coast. He was he relocated to California from Chicago, so he brought that sound that he heard at First Church of Deliverance. So I would say LA, and you know, it spread throughout
First
California.
Church of Deliverance, was that like one of the movers and shakers?
Yeah, spiritual church.
Okay. Okay. Huh. All right. Daryl, let me see. I want to see the picture, the thumbnail. Let me just kind of, I know we don't want to hold too long. Yvette Flunder. You know, thank you, Lord. One of the mainstays anywhere. I mean, you sing that song, you do think of Walter. You think of Walter, but you automatically think of Yvette Flunder.
It's because of her delivery. It's like I know I'm gonna get it wrong, but you know, like a song isn't a song without a great singer. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you got to be able to be artistic in your delivery, and she's very artistic.
Yeah.
And her delivery. And then do you hear the polyrhythms? Oh my! I was just listening to that the other day. At first I used to like to hear the sermonic version of it, but when you really listen to that record, I think it was 1990 or something. Oh my God! Well, that's Joel on the drums. Oh my
Joel, Joel Smith.
Oh, he's.
No,
That's
Tommy
just a
Cliff was
good
Detroit.
choice. Huh?
Tommy Cliff was Detroit inspired.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shirley Miller. You know what I loved about the Hawkins brand? That you can tell who the hell was singing, except Lynette and Walter. Sometimes a little iffy.
Yeah.
They were so. There was a period where you couldn't tell who was Lynette and who was Walter singing. Those voices were so amazing, but you can always tell who Daryl Coley was.
Oh, absolutely. What was that? The first song he recorded, it was with Helen Stevens. What was it? Actually, you know Daryl Norman. We must mention that name, the governor.
Daryl Norman, yes, in the Bay, yes, sir. Maybe he got loved at Love Center, but go ahead. I digress.
You know, the name of the song, it slips me. It's something about Kristen, and Daryl Norman, and Daryl Coley sings that song. I think it was released in '74.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that was Helen Stevens and the Voices of Victory. I mean, Voices of Christ.
Voices of Christ.
Yeah.
Helen Stevens, and man, she was amazing in her own right.
Remember she had the multicultural choir.
Right.
On, yeah.
Right. And what was that other? And then Edwin got a multicultural choir. I forget what it was called. What was it called? I forget what it was called, but he had a choir as well up there in the Bay Area. That's multicultural. Yeah. Wow. Let me just look one more time. Let's see here. Tremaine. What's your thoughts on Tremaine?
I mean, since the age of 14, if she was 14, I think it was 66, if I'm not mistaken, when the Heavenly Tones released that album. I mean, her voice is still the same. You know what I mean? The same range that she had when she was a child. She could still execute those notes. I mean, she's remarkable. She's gonna go down in history as one of the greatest voices in gospel music. And definitely doing the quartet. I'm not the quartet, but the contemporary evolution.
Right.
In,
The Rock. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. The Rock. I'm like, we had this. My mom bought the album. I love my mother so much because my mother, I don't know, she got it from my grandfather because we would go in behind the bar at my grandfather's house, the big bars that they had. Nothing but albums. But he loved jazz. He loved Aretha Franklin. He called my sister Aretha Franklin. But he had all the albums, and now it just clicked to me. That's where my mother got it from. She had every gospel album known to man. I mean, and she really did. And I remember she would always buy them and just be up to date with them. And I remember Tremaine's album. And of course, that album was very controversial with the church again. With The Rock. And what was the other? Fall down.
Oh yeah, she was in the clubs. She was in the disco clubs with that.
Yeah,
literally.
Exactly. No, she was in the clubs. Yeah. But I mean, and you have to. That's why I told B.Slade. They have all gone through being ostracized by the church and being thrown out of the church, or talked about, humiliated, all that bull. But at the end of the day, they are legends, and we love them, and we continue to sing their song. Tremaine is still being booked. Richard, these folks are still being booked, and their booking fees are not low.
Oh no,
they got no discounts for you.
No discount.
So it's just it's amazing to me. Okay, whatever. Yeah. So and one last thing before we get out of here, let's talk about Mary.
Mary, yeah, absolutely. If you think about it, I think it was in 1997. They actually were in the choir for Every Mountain.
For
Kurt Carr.
Wow. Okay.
Atkins. Mary, their parents, their mother, she was a famous singer, a gospel singer in LA. So they have a very, very extensive background in gospel music. I'm just proud to see, where they have taken, our creative music, this art form of gospel music. A lot of people, they want to turn up their nose at, their rhythms and things of that sort. I'm just like, long as their message is reaching the hearts of, who the target, go for it. I mean, and then too, what was it? One of Karen Clark's albums, what was it? Mary, they did We're Not Ashamed.
Right.
When I heard that, I was like, okay, I'm a Mary fan.
Yeah. And they have that machine of a Warren Campbell behind them. Yeah. Another apostolic brother that I grew up with that was in our organization. I remember him and his sisters used to come to the midnight musicals. He'd be on that guitar. I remember them being in red and black, some red and black uniform. I was like, all right, the Campbell family. But Warren Campbell, and then he gets behind Mary's one of them, and that's the machine behind them, and you see where they're at now. Amazing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And he even has Lena Bird on his the block label. Yeah. Wow. Man, well, we've been chit-chatting for a while. We had B.Slade come through here.
B.Slade.
So y'all, you do not want to miss the next time me and Mr. Eric Maurice Clark hops on here, because he don't know about. I got such a surprise coming up. As soon as we get to that, we're gonna get to that city, but we may have to backtrack a little bit. But
okay. I'm excited.
It's going to be amazing. So everyone, please, before you get out of here, please hit like, hit share, and we appreciate it. And I want to put up again, this is the Cash App for Eric Maurice Clark, Gospel Diaries. So when you're supporting the Cash App, you're supporting, he spends his money. He goes and he interviews these people. He travels to where they are, where they be in Detroit, Chicago, California, wherever they are, Texas. So you want to make sure that you're always, when you think about it, when you want to think about giving to a charity and give to gospel music, all right? Give to the fact to keep gospel music alive, keep the legends, stories being told, so we can have something to build upon. If we don't have anything to build upon, we all perish. Building is prophetic, so we don't want to perish, and we don't want gospel music to just fade away. I don't think it ever will, because the word won't ever fail, right? Come on.
Wait a minute now.
As long as we speak the word, it's not gonna fail. So we on the right street, but we need. The Bible says men will give it to your bosom. All right. So we're asking that you will help support in his endeavors to travel and to go to see these folks. Eric, he should always be at Holy Convocation. He should always be at some of these other places that have all these gospel performances and gospel legends there. So he should have been sitting there up there with Ricky and Donald and Hezekiah, and John P. King. We need to keep people like Eric Maurice Clark, keep them on the horn, keep them supported and lifted as we continue. Just like here at the St. James Show, I want to bring you good educational stuff, entertaining things. I don't think that other stuff is me, man. I don't care about. I don't really care about TV and stuff. I just don't. It just doesn't excite me. I thought that was it. It ain't there.
Yeah.
I would rather us educate through gospel music and the impact that it has on our lives. Because listen, my first time singing in church was seven years old in front of the church, and then directing at 12 and just moving up from there. So gospel music has been my life.
Yes.
It really has. So any final words before we get out of here, man?
Again, thank you so very much for allowing me to come sit with you this Sunday evening. And to the audience, as I always say, love on someone and you will change their life. You never know the smile that you wear every day. It may be the ingredient that someone needs to put down their gun and say, I can live again, live another day. So be kind and be courteous. And don't forget to love on your neighbors.
Thank you, everyone. Before you get out of here, make sure that you are hitting the like button and subscribing. All right. So we will see you next time. If you're watching the replay, do not get out of here without hitting like and also supporting the channel. All right, man. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good one.